Welcome to the Little Nugget Show, and wow, what a day for Denver. The roller coaster of emotions I cannot handle anymore as an old man. I can't stand close games. And what? Oh my goodness. How do we describe the Broncos? How do we describe the Broncos? Well, we're here to talk about little nuggets of wisdom from the Denver Nuggets, but you can't talk about the Nuggets today without talking Denver Broncos because the city of Denver, both games in Denver, obviously, went through the biggest highs and now another low. With the victory over the Bills in revenge fashion for beating them last year 30-7 or something on their home field, they came in and played a hell of a game. That was a hell of a game. And then it goes to overtime. Are you kidding me? Also, Bo Nix had the opportunity to come back in the fourth quarter, down by 4. They stop him in overtime. A few penalties, a few drop passes, and wouldn't you know it, Denver wins. And Bo Nix breaks his freaking ankle on the set play. From what I understand, and you tell me if I'm wrong, from what I understand, it was the play where they snap the ball, they down it in the middle of the hash marks for the kicker. And if that's not the biggest irony, I mean, I'm interested to hear what Bo Nix says, but apparently he's scheduled for surgery already on Tuesday. To go from that, and here's the thing about me, is that I had a basketball game to coach today. They end up canceling it because the other team wasn't going to have enough players, because the Broncos, obviously, the game was at 3:30 and the Broncos start at 2:30. But they gave us the entire court for the hour. So me and my son went to play anyway. And we play, and we could hear people yelling for the game, and we're going to record it. We're going to watch it later. So I'm watching it later. Well, my Kansas City Chiefs, oh, how dare me, fan daughter already knew the end of the game, but fortunately didn't tell us. So we're watching the game, and the second the winning field goal goes through in overtime, she says, "Oh, by the way, Bo Nix broke his ankle on the last play of the game." My goodness gracious, to go from that high to that low, and I assume everybody that was watching it live was probably, I don't know what it was, 30 minutes, maybe an hour before they got the news. Probably 30 minutes. I don't know. But that was devastating. And then we start watching the Nuggets, and the Nuggets, of course, in a big game for me, because last year the Wizards beat the Nuggets handily twice, and we owe them a bitch slapping like no other. But we're a little undermanned, but still 11-point favorites, I think, to start. Always take that line against the Wizards. Take the Wizards in that, because they always do good against Denver for some reason. Well, at least the last 3 games. And this one was no exception. Actually, it wasn't an exception, because not only did they come back, so the Wizards won the second quarter, they won the third quarter, and Denver dominates the fourth quarter, gets their act together, plays a little defense, and in glowing fashion, beats the Wizards 121-115 to win their 6 out of the last 7 games. So what are the nuggets of wisdom we can talk about in this game? Number 1, Jamal motherfucking Murray is the man. And I don't have a Jamal jersey on now, but I have only Jamal Murray Nuggets jerseys and 1 Aaron Gordon 50 jersey. But Jamal's always been my favorite player and not favorite interviewer, although I think he's doing a lot better this year. But this year he's on fire. But to be honest with you, the player of the game was Tim Hardaway Jr., in my opinion. And I will coin this term right now. He is the no-dip assassin. That's his new nickname. Write that shit down. Tim Hardaway Jr., THJ, the no dip assassin. That was suck. The no dip assassin. So me and my son were working on no dips today, and they're fun. They're fun. You got to jump before you get the ball, land as you catch it, and pop from there with a no dip. They're fun, especially when you start making them. And that guy makes a lot of them. And without those shots, I don't think they ever get back into the game. Now, obviously, they don't win the game without Murray or Aaron Gordon's big shots and rebounds in the fourth quarter. And, you know, even some play from Zeke. There was one play where he just took it down the pipe strong and hard, and that was a big 2 points from Zeke. But everyone came together. Peyton had 21, I think, 20, 21, something like that. He's still rolling, although he was a little, to me, he looked a little, I don't want to say lethargic or just a little off. AG was strangely off in his shooting, but I think he nearly had a triple-double with like 10 assists, 8 rebounds, and, 13 points or something like that. I guess I could pull that up, huh? I should do a better job of preparing. However, we only have one viewer, so welcome. And the craziest thing is on this channel, we don't get any comments. Feel free to leave a comment. So, Tim Hardaway Jr., the No Dip Assassin. It's published now, officially trademarked by Flocka Watts and the Little Nugget Show. Here's some stats on the black jerseys. So the black jerseys are the 5280s this year. Oh, that's upside down. The black jerseys are the city edition, we should say. And Denver has named their city edition jerseys 5280s for the past several years. And this one's a throwback from 2019, I believe, 2020, 2019, 2020. And if I'm not mistaken, on the road in black, we're 4-0. But this win at home brings us to 2-2, which means 6-2 overall in the black jerseys. 6-2 overall would be 75%. So not a bad win rate for the black jersey. We're still, the Mile High Statement is 6-1, so that's a little better. The white is 11-5. That's around 67%. And then the blue is 7, 8, 9, and 3. Because Denver has a solid record of, are they at 30? Do we have 30 wins and 12? No, it's not 30 and 12. It's 29 and 13, isn't it? Yeah. 29 and 13. So I might be off because that does not add up. But 29 and 13 in the rankings of, how are the Spurs? Oh, the Spurs won yesterday. So Denver's won 4 in a row, 6 of the last 7, 7 out of the last 10. San Antonio has won 2 in a row and 6 and 4 in their last 10. Thunder must have lost. Yes, they did. Who did they lose to? Who did they lose to? 122-120 to the Miami Heat in Miami. Good for you guys. Can you tell me, is there another team that's less desirable to watch than the Oklahoma City Thunder? Probably no one outside of Tulsa really likes to watch them. In my estimation, they're pretty cringy. Pretty cringy. Standings. I guess I could bring that up. Share screen. Nope, wrong one. Cancel. What else could we talk about in the NBA world? It's got to be that one, right? Yeah. Okay. So, come on, Ebu Mux. Boom, boom. So there we are looking at the standings. And how do I zoom in? I know how to do it. Look at that. Whoa, I did it. What does that look like? Oh, that's big. Did trackpad do this? There we go. Look at that. Trackpad it. So will the Denver Nuggets catch the Thunder? I think that they're going to have a chance because even though the Thunder took off to a flaming start, teams just always revert to the mean eventually. What's going on down below the Nuggets? Nuggets are tied for second, but definitely have a tiebreaker. The Spurs have the tiebreaker against them, so I'm interested to know if and when we play the Spurs again. Timberwolves are 3. Wow, look at that. There's starting to be a little gap there between 3 and 4. 2.5 games. 15 losses, 9 games, 3.5 games above the Rockets, and 4 games above the Lakers. Wow, that's cool. And I think the next few games we have a chance of winning. So tomorrow night is the Hornets, 6 p.m. Join me tomorrow night at 10 p.m. I figured 4 hours exactly from start time is the best time for me. So 10 p.m. tomorrow after the Hornets. Hopefully we get a victory there. Another professional win like the one we give tonight, where they go out and do the minimum effective dose, get hot, let the other team back in, slide a little, let them get ahead, and then have to pull yourself up by the bootstraps in the fourth quarter. I don't really like those games. It would not hurt my feelings tomorrow if you could just blow them out by 20 points. Because what we have going is the Wizards again. So tomorrow is the 18th. So 2 days after the Lakers at home. And then they go out to Washington to hopefully bitch slap the Wizards again 2 days later. And another back-to-back. So that's a back-to-back for Washington, Milwaukee. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then Memphis, road trip, a 3-game road trip. And then, ladies and gentlemen, we will be returning home to play the Detroit Pistons, the former team of the No Dip Assassin, on Tuesday, January 27th at 7 p.m. And ladies and gentlemen, it'd be my guess and my estimation that the greatest player in the world, Nikola Jokic, will be starting and playing in that game. And I have one Joker drink that my son got me. I got all the ones I could get in the beginning of the season, and then they sold out. I never saw them, but he found one. And I am saving it for the day Jokic gets back. So if you want to leave a comment, tell me when you think Jokic will be back. I think that's literally exactly 4 weeks from when he got hurt. And I think he's going to be ready to come back before then. But I don't know. Maybe you come back on the road, go out with the team, warm up every game, and then all of a sudden warm yourself back up against, I mean, it wouldn't hurt if it was January 23rd. The Bucks would be nice. Put a little stop to Giannis. The Grizzlies, they don't have Jay Huff anymore, do they? Forget who did he go to? Oh, the Grizzlies have that 7'4" Eddie guy. Anyway, let me know what you think. So, what other little nuggets of wisdom can we chat about? Other than the Broncos game, I mean, here, what is the status? Or they don't know the status. Or they would have had to have an x-ray. Let's look up Bo Nix injury. 4 hours ago, 1 hour ago, 3 hours ago, 3 hours ago, 1 hour ago. Snaps ankle and heartbreaking injury. Give me a break. He literally was fine. What is that? I don't know if you can hear that. Yeah, he walked off fine. He didn't snap his ankle. That's not where he broke it.
star quarterback for one of the teams, and in turn, Jared Stidham is getting the start. He's made 4 career starts, none of them in the postseason, and this was after the final play. You could see he was obviously excited to win, but you could tell Bo Nix was going through a lot right there. So if you're the New England Patriots or Houston Texans, obviously tomorrow's game meant everything regardless, but now if you win tomorrow's game, you have to feel great about your chances to represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. Just absolutely stunning news.
Not too sure how I feel about that. Let's watch some post game and get copywritten.
I think we just did a better job with the glaring stats, to your point, 27 second chance points, but a much better effort in the fourth quarter, just to try to win the rebound. And I just trying to find a group that had some juice to, track down loose balls. I thought Bruce was really good in this game. It's not the stats, plus 10. He really got into them, sped them up a little bit, which helped our defense. And then, Jamal and Tim, they're having special years, but I think they had 31 over 38 in the fourth. So we finally got a couple guys get hot.
2 players, 30.
But yeah, it was a really odd game, weird game.
That was crazy.
And it was like we just did enough to stay in the game of a really ugly start, regardless of the points we were scoring. It felt like a game we were going to get, fall behind, just with the energy. And I thought the guys just found a way in the fourth quarter to galvanize themselves, get themselves going. And there's a lot of ways to win these games. And I just told them in there, and I mean it. If we lost this game, we'd remember it. We won't remember this game now because we won it. It's just part of the tally of the season. So it's just there's just certain nights where the energy's off, and you just have to find a way to stay in it long enough to win it. And that's what we did.
He said they had a terrible start, and I think they had a good start. I think they had a decent first quarter, as a matter of fact. But Washington was still in it. They definitely had a bad second quarter and a bad third quarter.
Did.
Down 7 with about 9 minutes left. You get the ATO.
Can't hear the questions.
That's another one rhythm. Do you feel like that kind of got everyone else going?
You guys have volume.
During the game run before you guys sort of beat off that whole stretch?
I think so, and I think I brought Aaron in a little earlier than I wanted to, but he immediately changed the glass too. He just shored up because we had so many possessions. I thought we sat down and guarded because we had to, because we're behind, and the guys were really giving a lot of effort, and then they would tip it back in. Middleton gets the end one off the glass. We just weren't physical enough, and we had talked about this is what this team does.
That was crazy how many offensive rebounds they were getting compared to how many we were not getting.
And they did it throughout the night. So yeah, it's just
You kind of need a 7-footer to go against a 7-footer, and we had no 7-footers. AG did ball out in the fourth, though. I think he had some 2-3 big rebounds there.
It's an odd night, and then Jamal, he's so special, man, late game, and getting the ball in his hands, letting him make decisions. So it was
You know what's funny is multiple times during this game and quite often in the past, my wife actually gets mad because when they take what I think is a terrible shot, I'll say it with Jamal, I'll say it with Peyton, I'll say it with Aaron. I'll be like, no, don't take that shot. That's terrible. And then it goes, crack. And I'm like, see, I'm just doing my part. Sometimes it's the reverse curse. What happened today with the curse? I thought the commentators were cursing this game when they said, the Wizards are coming in having lost 5 in a row. Of course. And they're 11-point underdogs. Of course they're not going to lose today. Or not going to. And, of course, Denver's not going to lose today. That's what the commentators, and I'm like, don't do that shit again. Luckily, that one didn't count. Denver Broncos win, but suffer a bigger curse. I mean, do they still have a chance to win the Super Bowl? I think it's about 1/10 as much as they would have if they'd had Bo. But you never know. It's been done before from what I hear. But then I found out that my son bet a teacher at a school that basically if New England played Denver in the playoffs and New England won, because he's a New England fan apparently, that my son would have to shave his head. And if Denver won, the teacher would have to shave his head. So I don't know if they officially bet or not, but I gave them a nice life lesson. I think I talked about it on a previous show. But I bet against the Denver Broncos in 4th grade. And all the money I had, and it was quite a bit, well, $124, I think. I told the story, but I was selling a pig for 4-H, believe it or not. And that was the money I got from the pig. And I bet all of it on the Denver Broncos to win against the Washington Redskins in 4th grade. Do the math. And they got their asses handed to them. They started out 10-0. And then they lost 55-10, I think. Or was that against the Niners? So it was Giants, Washington. The next year they didn't go. And then the next year they got beat by the Niners. 3 out of 4 years they lost the Super Bowl. And I felt like I cursed the team. That was the stupidest fucking thing I've ever done in my life. And from that day on, I committed to never betting on the Denver Broncos. So I was able to teach my son that because I believe it might have been his curse that broke Bo's ankle. Be curious to know how it broke. Like I'm picturing one of the little bones and it just cracked in half. And they're gonna put a pin in it. I mean, you definitely can't play for, I would say, 12 weeks maybe. But it depends on how serious it is, I guess.
Did not want to play him that many minutes, but that's what the game demanded tonight. So unfortunately, it worked out for us. You know what? I thought early in the year, you miss shots and you lose, and they say you're not clutch. But I feel like we have been for like a decade. So I don't know.
Good take there, Adelman. Yeah, Denver's always been clutch. And then this year they weren't in a few games. I mean, it couldn't be that many games because we've only lost 13 out of 42 halfway through the season. We're on pace to win 58? 58-26? Without Jokic, with all these injuries. It's a hell of a thing. But apparently they didn't win so many clutch games in the start of the year. And 6 of these last 7 wins, or 6 of the last 7 games that they've won, have all been in the clutch. I don't know what's that defined by. Let's see if Grok knows. Or if you're out there, leave a description in the chat. What is the definition of clutch time in the NBA? No viewers, no comments. Wonderful. I don't really watch live shows either. Right? I always watch them after the fact. So thank you for watching after the fact. What is the definition of clutch time in the NBA?
In the NBA, clutch time's basically the final stretch when everything's on the line. Usually the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter or overtime, when your team's ahead or behind by 10 points or less. It's when players shine under pressure, making big shots or stops to seal the game.
So is the official definition of clutch 10 points or less within the last 5 minutes?
Yeah, that's the standard one used by stat sites like NBA.com. Last 5 minutes of the fourth or any overtime, lead within 10 points. Keeps it focused on those nail-biting moments.
Geez, that's almost every game, isn't it?
Actually, no. Well, not quite. Most matches are decided by bigger margins before that window even hits. Only about a third of them stay that tight by crunch time, tops. So clutch moments aren't every day, thank God. Otherwise, we'd all need sedatives.
I feel like every game I watch is one I need sedatives on. Give me a break. I mean, like they said, 6 of the last 7 in clutch wins. Yeah, because the one we lost against Atlanta was a blowout, I think. So within 10 points in the last 5 minutes, to me, that seems like every single Nuggets game. Moving on.
I feel like we were pretty clutch in the playoffs last year. So I think it just has a thing that just comes around. We have seen some different things with teams, early when we were fully healthy, with full rotations, pre-rotations behind our initial 2-man action. And tonight I thought we handled it well. A couple of times guys flashed in the middle. When they full rotated, they doubled Jamal, pre-rotated the next man, and we found a way to move the ball, pass the ball, and get good looks. That's all you can ask for is.
I hope they interview Hardaway. And I know DMVR was talking about the Hardaway dunk today. But I see a little nugget of wisdom in there that most people don't see. So what they saw that I actually didn't really notice was for the first time, seemingly, Tim Hardaway gave up a three-pointer, did not take the shot, which he's normally apt to actually shoot it before he even gets the ball. It's almost like the no-dip assassin decided not to take the shot and instead gave a little pump fake, and then I think he hesitated, and then he was like, you know what, I'm just going to go dunk it left-handed on your ass. And bam, and people are like, oh, I can't believe he used his offhand. Here's my theory. He is a right foot jumper and a right-handed shooter. That is the case for me as well. And it helps in that one situation, but that's about it. Because jumping off my left foot is my weaker foot, and it's a little more awkward. However, you can do it. But when your dominant foot is your right foot and you're right-handed, you can't. So you have to dunk left-handed. So I always learned how to jump right-handed, grab the rim left-handed. And that's what I saw in Tim Hardaway. Just, I'm going, I got my right foot, plant, boom. Like, when does he decide? He already knew because he's a right-footed jumper. Somebody look that up or go ask him a question. Are you a right-footed dominant jumper? You can usually tell. You know who else does it good is Jokic can go off of either foot. He doesn't get a whole lot of air, but I've seen him dunk off of both feet. And how about AG's dunk? Maybe we could bring that up. The dunk, what do they call it? Alley-oop dunk? 180?
It's just getting a good shot late, especially when they put two people on your best players.
You mentioned good looks, but a lot of the shots are still very tough. But these guys are putting the shot making seems like when you get into that level of rhythm.
God, I wish they would put the questions in subtitles.
In terms of continuing to fight for even better looks versus just like
Yeah, I think it's confidence. So, I mean, there's certain people in our league that
You can play guess the question based on the answer, kind of like Jeopardy.
can do things other guys can't. And Jamal's a shot maker. And there's also times where we really move the ball well. I mean, we had 31 assists. So, we had 17 at the half. When they start to switch 1 through 5, sometimes this league does become isolation based. And that's just the way it is. And sometimes your best players just have to make plays. Aaron made an enormous 3. And obviously Jamal went to work in space. We were trying to stay with the split game late, got some good things out of it. But more importantly, just making them have to make decisions where maybe they screw up, and they did a few times where they switched down the floor, and it gave Jamal some space just to pull up and shoot it. Look, this is professional sports, so you play as a team. And, I mean, Aaron has 11 assists in this game. We played through him off the elbows just like we would if Nikola was playing. So trying to stay within what you do, but also letting your best guys do what they do, and with confidence is part of this whole thing.
what are some of the things people in my position or fans might not appreciate enough about Tim Hardaway Jr.? You know he's a shot maker, but compared to someone else.
I think he creates shots for other people. Gravity, everything pulls towards him. There's a game plan, around him. He's a really good screener and splits. A lot of those ATOs that work with him, it's not just because he's a good shooter. It's because he's got great timing. He knows when to set a screen, when to slip out, depending on the coverages. He's just a complete basketball player. And the other thing about Tim that I love is Tim knows Tim. Like, he knows when the situation doesn't demand him to dribble. There's something about that in our league where really knowing yourself and what your limitations are in certain situations, and then all the great things you can do that you've mastered. And he just stays in that lane so well. He's just been fantastic all season long. Yeah, it's just amazing. Aaron is just a chameleon. Every night he just kind of takes on what's needed. Tonight it was playmaking. It was a defensive rebound that no one else could get. And I was wishing he would have got a triple double. I didn't know he was that close until after the game, but I did because his floor game was so good. To your point, he loosened people up with screens. We played through him, threw some unbelievable passes on slip cuts, back cuts. Aaron's always been special, and tonight was one of those nights. I wish I didn't have to play him so much, but Aaron. I mean, as we all know, he's been so good here in so many different ways. Yeah.
So, I bet you didn't realize that Denver won all 3 of their preseason games. They won 14-3 in the regular season. They're 1-0 in the postseason. They didn't play the wild card weekend, which is, nice being the number 1 seed. They definitely needed it. And just to throw out a little nugget of wisdom to that game, the biggest play to me, I mean, there was a lot of big plays. Actually, the biggest play is going to be the one where Bo broke his foot. the biggest play to me was my favorite player on that team, Singleton, the linebacker. When I saw him in preseason, I was like, I love this guy. He's going to be fun to watch. And then he got hurt, and he was out for a long time. And then he came back, and then he started playing good. And today, he made the sickest hit. There was actually a sicker hit by Ufunga or... No, number 6. I forget. Either 6 or 9. Ufunga's 9. Anyway, Singleton popped the ball carrier. And you got to understand, Denver went down, had a great first drive, and had to settle for 3. Buffalo gets their first drive and just kind of cruises down. They do about the same thing that Denver did, and then they get their touchdown. So they're up 7-3. Denver goes 3 and out. And then Buffalo gets a couple of good plays, and they get going. And I think they were almost to midfield, and Singleton just put his hat on him, on the ball carrier, just stuck him, and the ball popped free. And I was telling my son, that's going to be the biggest play of the game, because that turned the momentum back to Denver. And from that point, they went up 10-0, or 10-7, sorry. And then it was 10-10. And then just that momentum that carried to the end of the first half, where they scored 10 points in like a minute, that was insane. So you're up 20-10 going in the second half. Beautiful. Now, obviously, Buffalo came back, 14 unanswered, and Denver was forced to come back to tie it. And actually, they took the lead, and then Buffalo came back to tie it. So there was 3 lead changes in the fourth quarter, wasn't there? Or 2. And then they tied. So then they go into overtime, and both teams get stopped on their drive. That was interesting. You know what also was a big play was that punt. So Denver didn't make it on their drive, but their punt put them inside the 10, and that kind of helped. Although Buffalo did seem to drive it pretty far. Anyway, enough about the Broncos. Their season may or may not be over. We'll see. It's hard to imagine a backup quarterback. Although, if any team's going to win with a backup quarterback, it might as well be this one. I think Stidham is not terrible. He's going to be fresh. And to be honest, we got good running backs. I think we lost 2 receivers too anyway. So Denver Broncos have a really good defense, and maybe defense wins championships. We will see.
I heard it was a catch, but they said it wasn't. I know. I'll be honest, really quick. An amazing game, and super happy for Denver, but I feel terrible for Bo Nix. Coming out of a game like that, it's just so classic and all time.
Why would I not read? I didn't realize he was talking about Denver. Dude, what happened to the volume? Oh, I hit the M. If you hit M, it
Screens.
means...
We played through him, threw some unbelievable passes on slip cuts, back cuts. So, yeah, Aaron's always been special, and tonight was one of those nights. I wish I didn't have to play him so much, but, yeah, Aaron, I mean, as we all know, he's been so good here in so many different ways. Yeah, I heard it was a catch, but they said it wasn't. I know. I'll be honest, really quick. Amazing game, and super happy for Denver, but I feel terrible for Bo Nix. Coming out of a game like that, it's just so classic and all time. And that call could have gone either way. Either way, they made all the plays. They make the kick to win it. And it's stuff like that in sports you hate seeing, because it's not deserved after a game like that. You want the team that moves on to go with the momentum they have. So the next game is as good as that one was. So super bummed for my team, but really cool for the city of Denver. Yep.
Damn. Is he saying he's a Buffalo fan? Is he from? I forget where Adelman's from. But next we have, with the retro Denver Nugget sweatshirt, the no-dip assassin, Tim Hardaway Jr.
Should have made more threes.
I should have made more threes. Did he have 30 points?
Yeah. I think just a passion, I would say so. I know it wasn't really that much energy in the building today. I think everybody was still on a high from the Broncos game. Congrats to those guys. Huge win. but yeah, I think they all came over here, and it was just I think all their energy was gone. But we just try to find our own energy and ourselves, and I just try to do the best I could to come off the bench and be that spark plug.
It does seem like you're having a lot of fun.
I know, right?
What is it about this season and what is it about this group that's really sort of helping you out a lot?
I think the confidence, the trust in each other. To be honest, I mean, you never like when these injuries happen, you never know. Throughout the season, if you will have an opportunity like this, and not only myself but for other guys, to play these many minutes and to go out here and contribute as much as we have. So I'm not saying it's based off the injuries, but like we always say, it's next man up. So just relish the opportunity, man, and that's what we've been trying to do.
What's your confidence level in the fourth quarter when you're taking that for next ball?
Try to get off to a big start, man. Whether we end the third quarter good or bad, just try to do the best I can in the fourth quarter to go out.
I kind of scrolled ahead there and saw Jamal Murray with the do-rag. And like I've commented in the past couple of shows, I am not a fan of Jamal Murray and braids. Get that fro going, please. Although he did have 40, so whatever. But his braids are in his eyes. Like, give me a break. Come on.
There and start the fourth strong. I feel like we got to a quick start, be aggressive on both ends, get stops, runs. I think that's when the game kind of slows down, but I'm trying to do the best I can to pick up the pace, whether it's set screen, slip out, run the break, run the lane, find easy ways, easy baskets throughout that fourth quarter.
And with Jamal, does it feel like you're taking it forward, a bona fide star, and now you feel like you're trusted?
It definitely gives me confidence, knowing that, to start the fourth, he's right there.
We're already going.
Emergency blanket, I would say. Give him the ball and get the hell out the way. So that's what happens when I'm on the floor with him. If he needs help, then he knows I'm there.
Tim, what your basketball journey kind of realized that you
I think just playing horse with my dad and his friends. After they'll play open gym on the weekends or something like that. It'll be times where we'll play horse. If you don't hit the rim, if you don't hit the rim, then you get 2 letters. If you don't do what they say, you get 2 letters. So it was more of a focal point on my end, to be able to play with the older guys because I wanted to. I would say middle school, for the most part.
Here's a special detective question. What watch is Tim Hardaway Jr. wearing? I think I know, but I barely saw it.
It's been great.
Okay.
Just taking advantage of the moment.
Pretty sure that's a rollie.
I mean, he's the one that told me before I even got here that I would be in a lot of action.
Gold on gold. What color dial?
Just being able to go out there and do it and contribute and do it in a positive way, it means a lot. That's it. We got it back to back. All right, cool.
That's it. We got it back to back. Get me out of here. What the hell are you? You know what he looks like? Borat. Sacha Baron Cohen or whatever. Borat. Looks a little fake there, Jamal.
besides just the shots falling? What do you think was really working for you?
I'm not doing nothing different. I'm just balls going in the hoop and playing to me from half court. And
Okay, here's the thing. The only problem I have with Jamal Murray is his PR. So we're going to evaluate his PR skills here. And for everyone that talks shit about his teeth, give it a rest. Doesn't matter. Don't let it bother you. But he has all the money in the world. Why doesn't he? Because he doesn't give a fuck. But I'm just talking about his attitude sometimes with the press. It's a little annoying. We'll see how he is
everybody's
today.
eating. Honestly, I'm not changing my game. I didn't take a secret juice or anything. I just make shots.
There was a play where you saw Sar and ISO and he pounded the ball with it.
God, I wish I could hear the questions.
Hell yeah.
What has helped sort of, because for some teams, like January can be a really tough stretch. So what is helping you guys make January go wrong?
We have to. We have to. We don't have any room for error. We can't just feed big fella and say, all right, what I'm saying? Like, 10 years of it for me. You know what I'm saying? He's just so consistent. And I'm talking about Yoke. He's so consistent in, like, just being that scoring, playmaking system every single night. So, without him is a big loss, a huge loss. And then you add the fact that we don't have Val on top is, that's a lot. And then, Cam and CB and all those other guys, like this, it just gets worse and worse. But we have no choice. We have to come up with the right energy or else we'll get thumped. We have to, as the team goes around, we have to call a timeout because we don't want to get thumped. So like, I think it's just a fight or flight mentality with this whole team and the consistency.
I would say he's doing a pretty good job tonight. You can tell when he's in a mood when he's like, they ask you a decent question and he's like, I don't know. It's the stupidest fucking question I heard. What else? What's next? Does that all the time.
The consistency has been really fun to see just because it's so easy, like you said, to just let it slide or just lay back for a second. But, we've been, as a whole unit, just bringing the energy and bringing the game to the team that we're facing, whoever it is. So I think that's been huge.
One luxury it's got to be to have a teammate like Tim, because enough of that you can just give him the ball and go get a bucket. What's it like playing with a guy like that?
It's amazing. He's an amazing shooter. He's kind of like Mike in a sense where he can, once he sees the net, he can get it in.
Hardaway.
And he brings that intensity every single night. Whether he's missing or making shots, he brings that intensity. And that's what I like the most. He doesn't waver in his energy and his focus. It's the same every single night. So I think that's my favorite part. Missing and making shots, he's going to miss some, he's going to make some. He's going to get hot, he's going to get cold. But their approach to the game is fun to watch. I would have to what? Yeah, it was kind of dead in there for a little bit because everybody was on the Broncos game. So I feel like they got to us and like, well, it's whatever. Yeah.
What's the most valuable lesson you guys can take from this stretch with guys injured? Once everybody's healthy.
I think it's our capabilities as a unit, and we won't. We'll be quick to realize whether our energy is where it needs to be or not. I think because we've had the stretch. When we get guys back, it'll be easy to tell if we're lazy. It'll be easy to tell if we're not into the game or our approach isn't right. I think when everybody gets back, one by one, we'll be full throttle. It'll be easy to tell that if we let up the gas. Right now it's kind of like, okay, well, the guys are out and this and that and whatever excuse you want to make. But when guys get back in, you can tell guys are primed. Guys are it's a well-oiled machine. Guys got their feet wet, and we should be ready to go.
You might hate this one. I'm gonna try it anyway. You guys are seven wins in the clutch since rotation went down. What's working for you guys now with clutch that you wasn't earlier in the season?
I just think we're buckling down and everybody's coming into their role, whatever it may be. AG, we were obviously short man. We don't really have a true five, and we were getting kicked on the boards the whole game. And, once AG put his mind to just getting the ball, like that changed the game. I mean, I made some shots and Tim and but like AG was just the silent sealer for us where we finally got to stop and we finally got the board. We got to rebound. We were able to use that momentum and go finish the game instead of just giving him another second chance, third chance. So P-Watch, same thing. Like he'll have a great start, not see the ball for a while, but he's defending every possession. He's rebounding. He's in the lane. He's active. His pace in the half court is amazing. So I think once everybody just kind of got to they just do what they do for the last 2-3 minutes and just win the games, go home.
Obviously, Dave's been great in this stretch, but the manner in which he was making
We're going to get Peyton after this.
different angles on so many of the shots that I did in the lineup. When
Anyone
you
want
see
to comment?
the kind of, you obviously knew that this was something that he was capable of, but just the confidence that the touch that Axe was taking over against him was just about.
Well, confidence is a pretty confident guy. So it's to see him get in that mode and just be confident because he got us off to a great start as well. I think just like I said, his approach to the game, has been amazing for these. I mean, all year, but noticeably, obviously, in these past 10 games-ish, whatever it's been. So obviously, he's capable, and he's only going to get better at finding his spots. He's only going to get better at reading the defense, and he's showing a different array of moves almost every single game. So it's just fun to see him, be super confident all year.
Peyton had a few good finishes. They were sick. I think Jamal had him beat. Those high off the glass ones are the prettiest thing I've ever seen. I almost want to watch this game again and zoom through it and pick those highlights. Or YouTube usually has a good highlight one. Hopefully they show all of them.
Long and watch him grow. everything, just his floater, his jump, his spin move, his finishing. He's and on top of that, he's defending every single time. So it's cool to see.
All right, Peyton, I think you guys were down by
Peyton.
7 with like 9.5 minutes left in the fourth quarter. What flip
Got
was
52
switched to allow you to win
ADB.
this game?
I think just
Another
an increase in
Rolex.
intensity.
Whoa, chill. Let's go back. And
In the fourth quarter, what flip was
right
switched to allow you to win this game?
there. So it looks like a black dial date. Or no way. That is not a Rolex. I bet you that's an AP. I'm no watch expert, but you can tell by the shape of the bezel. The Rolex is not, it doesn't have that octagon shape. I bet you that's an AP. Whatever happened to Patek Philippe? Because Peyton is about to get paid, but he's acting since day one like he got paid already. Which, you know, he did. Rookie contract, but whatever. I love their watches. Jokic has the best watches.
I think just an increase in intensity. I think that's what it takes to win a lot of these games. I mean, as long as we keep ourselves in the game, we have so many players that come up big down the stretch. I feel like we'll always put ourselves in a good position. But, you know, this was a big win for us to get that first one on the front end of a back-to-back.
With Jamal and Tim, 31 points in the fourth quarter, what they combined to score. How do you describe what you saw from them?
It was amazing. It was amazing. I love having those two guys with us and not against us. I mean, I couldn't begin to imagine what it's like to scout our game plan for those two guys. And they continue to be not only amazing, but consistent as well.
Aaron was a bucket shy of a triple-double tonight. The way that he came in and impacted the boards, the way he was screening tonight to get those guys open, how selfless is he?
I mean, I think he's one of the more selfless players I've ever played with. I think that he's constantly, even when the team's at full strength, sometimes even being, you know, playing that sacrificial role and playing in that dunker and doing the dirty work and setting screens and getting rebounds. And I think that's what makes him such a versatile and valuable player. He's done everything for us this year, and I mean, can't say enough good things about the person that he is too. I mean, anybody who knows AG loves AG. So super, like I said, blessed to be teammates with him.
It felt like you and Bruce really injected energy into that fourth quarter. What were you trying to accomplish there?
Just trying to find a way to bring home this dub. I mean, it's just as hard to beat a team like that as it is to be a top 4 seed. Every game in the NBA is a battle, and they came out and they played the right way, and they played a great round of basketball tonight. We were under, I think we were down, I don't know how much on rebounds, but we were.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any children that you think are going to be professional athletes someday, tell them, take notes from Peyton Watson, because he does PR like he's been trained.
Short-handed with our size, and we just found ways to continue to get big time possessions for our team down the stretch, and I think that was what was the difference in the game.
Cool, thank you.
There you go. So what we have here in the standings is the Hornets in the East are 12th. Their record is 15-27, a little bit better than the lowly Wizards that we almost lost to. But check out their games. So they just got beat today by 20 in Golden State. So that means they're on a back-to-back too. They're coming from Golden State to Denver. I wonder what time their game was. Anyway, they beat the Lakers 2 days before down in LA, where they also played the Clippers, because you always got to do the Clippers and the Lakers. 3 days before. Oh, imagine having a day off in LA. And what happened? They won. I mean, they lost. So they lost by, 8 to the Clippers, but before that, they beat the Jazz by 55? Like, I never heard about that. 150-95? Like, was Melo just on... I don't know. I would hate to see anything like that tomorrow. But, like I said before, I think the Nuggets are going to lose every game before they start playing, no matter how terrible the opponent is. They lost by 2 to the Pacers. They lost by 1 to the Raptors. They beat the... What? Oh, that's right. They beat the Thunder 124-97, so that's 27 points. After having beat the Bills by 13. This ain't no team. The other losses are 1 point. They lost to Milwaukee by 1. The Warriors have their number, though. But it's not going to be easy. As Peyton says, no win in the NBA is easy. But we will see tomorrow. What do we decide it was at? It's usually earlier on Sundays, right? It's at 6? Shoot, did I take it away? I guess the game will show tomorrow at 6 p.m. in Denver time. I will see you at 10 p.m. Thank you for joining me, although I don't believe anyone joined. How dare you? But if you're watching after the fact, go ahead and leave a like and a comment. And otherwise, it's just a therapy session for me. So, yay. And if you're interested in growing cannabis, I will be doing my live show for that on Monday, 11 p.m. Bye now.